Hey guys, thank you for joining me. Today I'm here with Adam and Amanda. They're both successful print-on-demand shop owners with a unique success story that has allowed Amanda to basically work on this full-time, and Adam may soon be following in her footsteps. So guys, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. Yeah, she hasn't been working for, about 2 years now, and I'm hoping to retire literally in a couple months. So it's been working out really good. We started off, she just ended up getting a Cricut machine, and then I was just like, hey, why don't we find a way to make some money off of this? And we started off making things like stickers, and we streamlined the whole process. And over the last couple of years, it's really been lucrative. And
So we're 2 years in. You guys are only 2 years in too, so who knows where you'll be in another 2 years. I mean, that's really exciting. Do you mind sharing what a Cricut machine is for people like me that didn't know what it was, even though I bought one for Marielle?
It's well, you could do lots of different crafts on it, but what we use, we actually don't have a silhouette anymore, or now we have a silhouette. I don't have a Cricut anymore. I got rid of it. It wasn't working good for me.
You upgraded.
Yeah,
we upgraded. Yeah.
So what I use it for is just like cutting out our stickers. Mostly, you could use it for a ton of different stuff, but I use it for like our sticker business.
Yeah, we started off. So we've been making stickers, and that's what we have a couple stores. So we started off. We have about 7 stores right now, but we just started one. So
yeah,
and we do have print on demand stores, like just with shirts, like the very typical approach where we use either Printful, Printify, stuff like that,
or the digital download store. We have one of those.
Oh yeah, we do have that. There's a little bit, like as Ryan said, there's a little bit more unique approach here because there's a lot of value in having stuff like a niche-based store, right?
Yep.
A lot of times you have like a general-based store and you just kind of plow it with products. But what we really did is we tried to make it specific to one niche, and that has brought a lot of opportunity so far.
Dude, I love that approach. I mean, I love that you're successful with it. Like for me personally, I don't know that, in a perfect world, I guess if I had more time, I think I would definitely follow suit. And it was really interesting. I think you were telling me before we hit record that, is it true? Do you guys have like websites tied to your, would it even be, would I call it an Etsy brand with a website, or like a website that also is on Etsy?
We have a website and we have an Etsy brand for 2 of our stores.
We sell on both platforms at the same time.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, because Etsy's perfect. You get all that free traffic. I mean, when you have a Shopify store, now don't get me wrong, we lure people over from Etsy, and that's a good strategy right there. Like if you have both of those platforms, what we kind of did is, since we're doing manual fulfillment, we package in the order with a kind of thank you card and the reference to a discount code going over to our Shopify store.
Yep,
and that works out really good.
Sealer. The envelope sealer is a little discount code for our website, so that's how we've been getting most of it to come over.
Which means like we're not paying for ads on Shopify. We're able to be doing this successfully without doing ads at all. Like, I mean, we pay for a little bit of Etsy ads, but we found sneaky ways to kind of get in there.
No, man, I love that. That's awesome. And are you also like stealing the email addresses from Etsy for the most part? Isn't there like tools dedicated to doing that?
Well, there's a couple tools. Matter of fact, Etsy has something specifically to capture it. And shame on me, I have not done my due diligence for doing the emails. I mean, they're accessible, so you can find that information out. But building the list and stuff, I think that's part where we could probably get a little bit better on.
We did a little bit when we moved over, because for one of our shops, we like take requests for things. So when people, when we finish their request, I would go into Etsy and get their email and email them. So then I could then tell them like, oh, hey, we have this, but it's over on the website. Because obviously Etsy is going to frown upon us trying to move our traffic somewhere else. So we did do that a little bit.
Yeah, that strategy works out really good because one of the things we have in our business model is, for example, we have a brand based off something that Ryan talked about before. It was a Redbubble shop called Sugar High Cutie Pie. And we thought it was just so cool. We made something like, you know what, I want to have something that's just adorable little animals and stuff. So we went gung-ho, and this is our process. We go and get the art made, right? We go use something like Fiverr. I build relationships with people who don't have many rankings, and then I try to, even though they don't offer a certain service, I will try to get them to make something that I want them to. And if it turns out good, I have a long-lasting relationship with them. And the coolest thing about that is when their prices go up, your prices stay the same. So you can get all this talent from these outsourced platforms, and then you take it from there. You she comes into place, then she makes in the stickers. We put up the listings and stuff. We get it out there. Convert people over to Shopify by, the packaging and all that other cool stuff. And then I know we were going to talk about like conventions and some other stuff that we did. I don't know if you want to get into that now or.
Let me ask about I love that you're taking people over to Shopify where it's like completely your domain, your customer. The fees are lower. So like, do you mind sharing like it doesn't have to be exact, but like a gist of what your profit is looking like, or like what's your average order value? Like what is your average price point? How much profit do you take in per? Because you're also doing something that most people watching don't do, in that you fulfill a lot of your own orders, which like you guys have made it work. You've streamlined it, which I love. So, and you even showed me the whole process one time when we had a little private Skype call, which was super cool. So what are your margins looking like?
Well, you might not believe this at first, but like stickers, there is such a high margin. It's ridiculous. We make the most profit off of stickers because after we do some like feeders or feelers, we'll make some designs, put them up there. And when people order them enough, we'll look to another place like Sticker Mule or Vinyl Disorders, another good place to look. And we have them printed in bulk. We get it down to about 29 cents per. And then we sell them successfully on a regular basis for $3.99. So we're talking about like almost a times 20 benefit. And when we're, it's not that much. We can offer free shipping. We get that, boost in the Etsy algorithm because we don't have to worry about that. People are happy. We're happy with it. And we do have other stuff like that's our introduction thing, right? We don't do 100% just manual fulfillment. We do have regular t-shirts. I've heard a lot about people loving Printify and stuff like that. I still use Printful. I don't know. I like their quality, and we have a lot of success with that so far. They're really good when it comes to tracking the orders and the troubleshooting with customer service and stuff. We sell them for like how much their shirts are for?
I think they're $27.99.
27. So you can have the we use the Gildan or whatever for. Ryan, do you remember how much that is right now? I know they raised their prices.
$9.95 by baseline. Hopefully, if you get the volume discount, it brings it down a little bit.
So that's pretty good.
Are you mixing stickers and other product types in any of your shops, or is it kind of like each shop is a specific product type?
No, we have multiple different product types in each store. It just depends on what works best for each store. But lots of our stores, we have like a variety of stickers that like I fulfill at home. But then also we might have a lot of print on demand stuff that just automatically gets done for us in the same shop.
Do you see a lot of orders with multiple products, like maybe like complementary products, like a shirt and a sticker?
100%. We have, and I think that's one of the things that really helps because, you're talking about always building up more of a real estate online, right? So the way it works for us is for our Adorable store, one thing we went really gung-ho about was people's different dog breeds, because you won't believe how many people come up to us and say, nobody seems to have stickers for XYZ. The other day, I think it was a Burmese mountain dog. No. What are some of the ones you hear? They say we don't have it. They even say it for like blue heelers and cattle dogs and stuff like that.
When we first started, I was trying to get like very rare dog breeds that like not a lot of people have, but the people that have them, like they want stuff for them. So like Borzoids, Bedlingtons, stuff like that. And we were getting people buying those just because there's not a lot of other options, like those aren't popular dog breeds. So, if someone's looking for it, that they're going to find us. So since we've had such success with that, now we're trying to do like all the dog breeds. So like more that you're going to have more competition over, like a golden retriever or something like that. But since we already have, like a growing store, it's a lot easier for us to be found for like our more, breeds that are easier to find stuff for.
Yeah. You already got an established shop from maybe getting some like almost free sales, carving out the like lesser known dog breeds. So I love that. Do you have long hair micro Chihuahuas stickers?
I do have a variety of Chihuahuas. Yes.
We're working on
it. If you need a model, I know a couple.
Send us some pictures.
I'll take up on that. Yeah, cool. To answer your question more thoroughly about that, though, it's not just selling stickers, although we love it when we sell that because we make a lot and it's worth the time. But, if people love their Basset Hound, they're going to buy a Basset Hound like mug or a t-shirt and some other stuff. And we have a variety of things that we have using the same artwork. So it's not, we get to like utilize the same artwork for multiple products, not even to worry about it. And it's really nice looking stuff. It's not like I'm going on like Vecteezy or Vexels and I'm just using a design. It's like, okay, I've seen this a couple times. This is like specific to a brand, which brings like a lot of opportunities,
Yeah,
it makes you look more official.
Yeah, and we've repurposed a lot of our stuff. We have a lot of like keychains or pins now that are just repurposed from our sticker designs. So it doesn't cost us any more to make, that design. We can just, but someone who's buying the sticker, they're gonna probably want the keychain, even though it looks the same. They could put it on their keys. I've noticed a lot of people will buy, like if I have, my Basset Hound stuff on like 4 different things, they're gonna buy all of the different things that they can get it on.
Yeah, and on Shopify too. I mean, I know this is where Shopify can be like an endless rabbit hole that you can go down, but you can like customize everything, and you could almost just learn from Amazon and put like a little, underneath your product, you could put like frequently bought together, and if they're looking at the shirt, you put them the mug, the pin.
Oh, 100%, yeah. And I gotta probably ask you a couple questions after this, because I might need some help with doing some of that, because
I haven't gone down the Shopify rabbit hole myself, because I'm like, I'll spend so much time,
Yeah, there's so many apps for that too. It's bananas,
Yeah, but so now let's get into what should we go to next? Like, because I'm really intrigued by that you guys were at a trade show recently selling your stuff, and also the licensing aspect. You kind of hinted at that story before we hit record. Like, I want to learn more about both of those.
Okay, so what's really cool about doing some manual fulfillment is you have opportunities like going out there to the public and selling them things, right? You have a print-on-demand store only. One of the only disadvantages is that you can't put into a public space and have people like physically walk up to you. You have online traffic, right? So we've only been doing a couple. Like we just did our second one.
Yeah, this is our first one. It was nothing to write home about. It was the first year that it was being done, and we probably lost money on it, but it was a good experience.
Yeah, it's a learning experience.
But now, we just got back from this show last Sunday. It was a 7-day show, and since then, like we have booked multiple other things for the next coming months that we're really excited about. And now, like we kind of want to hit these like trade shows, start doing a whole bunch of them now.
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, like if I'm being conservative when I'm saying that I could go ahead and like retire in like about a month or two. I'm just trying to get a couple extra deals taken care of. But from the success that we got from doing the trade show, it's just like, wow, we can realistically go sign up for it. People absolutely love the products. You find out your display and how people resonate with it and kind of change it accordingly. Mm-hmm. But what's really, really cool about that too is you're getting that traffic. We've got like a banner with a QR code that's going to lead people to our website. People say, "Oh my God, that's so cute." Give me your card and stuff, and then we'll get orders from those same people, and they'll get some of the stuff that we can't provide, like the print on demand, because we can't have 100 shirts and stuff. So it's like it goes back to that where it's like we can sell more stuff. We don't have to worry about fulfilling, but you do a little bit of extra work and you get a way bigger boost for traffic.
That's awesome. That's a great point that you're making too. If you can send them back to the website, then you can get Printful to fulfill something. And I find it interesting because Marielle was doing my girlfriend was doing like farmers market stuff with her dog ice cream brand. I mean, it started with dog ice cream. She's expanded it, but like it ended up being just a great product for farmers markets, right? And like we didn't even know. And it's like it's kind of struggling to gain traction on. It's not even struggling. She's making sales without even any ads right now on Amazon, but it's kind of like just a couple like test send-ins for FBA. But like the farmers market was crushing. So I wanted to know, whether it's a huge success or like your first experience, just getting, learning experiences, right? But I love that, you can share these stories with people watching, because I'm sure they're like me. They want to know how it was. Like, what was it like? Did you network at all? Like, did you make any good relationships that maybe will yield future business?
Yeah.
We did.
He networks anywhere he goes. Anywhere where there's someone he can talk to, he's about that,
So this goes back into some of the advantages, right? Let's get into the nitty gritty. Like, why is having a niche store really a good idea sometimes? One of them is when you're approaching somebody. We had 3 different vendors that we were working with. We're going to try to see if we can get our stuff in their physical locations. Now, if you have a bunch of random stuff, it might work. It definitely works for like a Walmart and stuff like that. But if somebody has a store specific to one niche and you've got multiple brands with different niches that really just knocks in the ballpark with designs, you can approach that person with confidence and say, hey, you know what, we've got all this, it fits your brand absolutely perfect. And there was, as I said, there's a couple people in there who were really resonating, super excited about getting our stuff in their area. And it's like, what gets more automated than, I mean, you set up the connection, right? But then you get them to host your stuff, like buy it in bulk, not necessarily a concession stuff or consignment, but you get them to buy your stuff at a decent discount. And
it's like a level up, man. You're like passing everybody that you're passing me. You're passing everybody that watches this channel. You're going straight to the like B2B.
That's the hope, because it's just like when you've got a brand, you can bring that, you can take it up way to the sky, right? It's just like, there's so many advantages of
there's value in a brand.
What's that?
There's value in a brand for sure.
Yeah,
there is. Like the Cutie Pie brand or whatever. They, you said they had the Instagram marketing, like that was really spot on. It's all congruent. People know what they're going after, so it's just like, oh, that's really super cool. So they get a couple items, right? That's another thing, right? Continuity brings more sales. In one of our stores, we have we're constantly getting like maybe 15 items ordered at once and stuff like that.
Yes.
On a consistent basis. And it's just like, how cool is that? Because you've got people looking for a specific thing, and then you say, okay, well, I've got a lot of these things that fit within that same category, that person. So that's super cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. And how did this lead you to like talking about licensing some of your intellectual property out to other companies?
I don't know. I don't want to steal the shine if you got something.
So that was somebody had messaged us on Etsy and said that they really liked a seamless pattern that I had made for like a tote bag in our store. And, they said they were interested in getting the license for it and left us their email. So we emailed them, chatted back and forth, and they ended up purchasing the licensing agreement for the seamless pattern that I had made of just designs that we had made up. So they ended up getting the seamless pattern that they were going to make dice trays with.
Nice.
And then they also got each of the individual characters that were used in the seamless pattern. And they were just someone that approached us.
Yeah, they just saw it was like they were resonating with the brand because it fell well in line with them. They made board games and stuff. And the shop we're talking about is called Geek on Fleek, and it's selling to like the genre of people who love board games and D&D and stuff. The product we're talking about specifically, it's like little dogs and cats. We've got little tote bags where they're dressed up in armor. Like one's a paladin, one's a ranger, one's a warlock. Yeah. And we just she slapped it onto like one pattern, like utilizing all those different things in one design. And then, we sell those stickers individually, and we also sell the tote bags. It's like we're repurposing our stuff. But he was just like, oh, this is so cool. And it's just like, well, yeah, because it's just like, you're not going to find this stuff. This is all being like made specifically for a thing. So like, you're kind of like making dreams come true in that sense. And for that guy, he's going to start putting them on dice trays and stuff. And it's like, hey, more power to you. I'm not trying to steal anyone's thunder. They can use the stuff. I mean, he paid for the rights. I'm cool with that deal.
There you go. That's a good sale.
And we're also like an established brand, which was very exciting because they have things. Like we're also really into board games. Like they have, board games that I can go to my shop, my local shop and buy. So like, he already has an established brand. So nice. I'm very excited to see like our designs and like their stuff. Like who knows, maybe they will end up in stores. I don't know.
Yeah. It could be the start of something big. So that's awesome. Yeah. It's exciting to just see that you went from, 2020, not really having any experience, and then just kind of, I don't know. I don't want to take any credit away, but it's kind of like, you just kept going one stepping stone to the next, to the next, to the next. And you're still climbing. Like, where do you see your business in a year, in 2 years?
Okay. So the thing about the way it's been expanding, it's really crazy to say because, I'm sure you've seen this before, like that point where you start getting exponential growth, right? Like, did you have a point in your own journey where you notice it's just like, wow, you can't fathom how much like it's increasing? Like, do you know what I'm talking about with that?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if like one point stands out, but like for sure, when you kind of like get that confidence, you feel like you got a tailwind, and now you're just gonna go and see how far you can take things.
Yeah. Well, because of the rate of expansion is going up so much, and we keep refining, we keep listening to what customers want, we keep doing these networking events, and we keep doing this other stuff. The craziest thing is I don't know where it could possibly be. I have an idea of like, okay, well, if I do, I'm doing like merch by Amazon also too. Like I can project that. It's like I'll put all my designs every single day, and like statistically, it's more easy to figure out. So I kind of know where like something like that would be. But for the Etsy stores, for one example, there was one person who we met at the convention, and we've got a brand called Stitched Up, and the whole basis is like these zombie creatures and stuff like that, and like little Grim Reapers. People absolutely love, especially like getting close to Halloween. Well, he wants to make a kind of like a Halloween Town 365, like a thing where people can go in that like creepy little area, and we've got like creepy cute stuff. And he was super jazzed. And he said, you know what, this stuff could really work out well. Well, if something like that goes through, it's hard to calculate how much more growth that gets, because we're getting the exposure from the customers, we're getting the sales specific to the person, and the bigger you get, in the example of like the board game person who bought our rights, the more opportunities immediately come to you. And it's really crazy because you attract more and more success just because you're more credible.
For sure.
You're building up an entity, and you can really like take ownership over this thing. It's just like, that's the power of Shopify. That's the power of having your own niche and your own like brand. It's really cool and exciting. I'll tell you what, the dream is I would like to figure out a way to have our stuff. I'm not sure exactly what the products are going to be, if it's going to be stickers or something else, but I would like to be in, like those bigger box stores or something like that. I think it's very advantageous for anybody. So
there you go. And you don't always have to, and who knows, before you know it, you'll do that. You'll be selling yourself short because you'll end up owning some chain of your own stores or something.
Yeah. It's just like, plus it's like, we're talking about, we have all these different brands. What happens if, just throwing it out there, right? Because I know I've told you a couple ideas. I don't know if they're all going to go through because it's pretty ambitious, but like you could make your own community. What happens if you have like, let's pretend you make 20 brands, right? You make them all relatively successful. Well, now you can make a community. I know it's all your stuff, but if you get a big enough entity where you can make a marketplace selling your stuff specifically, other vendors are going to be more likely to want to be a part of that, maybe, right? Like what happens if you have 20 brands, they're all on there. People know it's all your stuff, you're just creating something bigger and bigger and bigger. And just like with vendor events, the bigger you become, you can start hosting events, and you can start getting money from rental fees. It's just like incredible. I know it's not print on demand, but
I think like it's great though, because it is expanding the scope of what's possible. Some people think like, oh, I'm selling on Etsy, therefore I'm just an Etsy shop. And it's like, you're kind of showing like, no, you can be more than that. And I was just thinking while you're saying that, like you could, in the future, I'll bet you anything, we're going to like tokenize ownership of, like, it's a possibility, but you can like tokenize ownership on a blockchain of, any number. You could do like 1 mint of your unique design, or you could do like 10 and just have like up to 10 people purchase the NFT that represents the tokenized ownership, and monetize it however they want. And there's some, I don't know, I just feel like the future is gonna be really cool.
Yeah, it's funny you said that too, because my buddy was trying to get our stuff on OpenSeas. It didn't go through, but we were thinking about like how cool would that be, because everyone was about NFTs and stuff. But yeah, you're absolutely right. It's like there's so many like points of ownership that you can take that you create some magic in there,
A lot of ways to monetize it.
Yeah, I don't know if do I have a second? Can I add something in there real quick?
Absolutely, of course. Yeah. Like if you have anything else to add, please do. And then I think we've like covered quite a bit, so it's been a great interview.
Okay, so anyone listening out there, I really want to say something here. There is an attitude that I hear an awful lot where you're talking about. So Ryan can go ahead. He can like link up the stores we're talking about for like context and stuff. We don't mind sharing that kind of stuff. I'm not worried about people going on and saying, yeah, absolutely. I'm not worried about people seeing our brands and being like, okay, well, I'm just going to make a duplicate of that, because we know it's a big issue with like merch by Amazon, where you have pixel by pixel artists and you've got other stuff, and you're janking all of their hard work for your benefit. So I know that there is a little bit of a stigma where there's a hesitancy to want to share different ideas, but the best way I heard it before is just like, that is like a pie mentality, whereas it's like, if you were doing better, then I am doing worse, when that is a wrong framework. The idea is that we've had so many different ideas and brands, and I'll tell you what, this is shame on me. Ryan will be, you would not be proud of this, but you know how we started off some of these brands? On a whim. We didn't do any niche research whatsoever. So it's just like, that is absolutely contrary to everything anyone says. But when you get jazzed about stuff and you go into it, you just dig deep, you can kind of manhandle something until it starts selling. I mean, we did that with some brands. It didn't work. Okay, well, let's do this on top of it. We just kept stacking, making this massive sandwich of a store. But somewhere along the line, we figure out what's works, so we could just use that brand, and voila, and people like some of the whimsical stuff. But if I were to like be more concise, what I'm trying to say here is, don't be afraid of having ideas, going out there, sharing them, talking about the stuff. People can really help you out. It's helped us out immensely because, oh geez, I mean, well, you already know, right? You can talk to people with ideas and they can really help you hash out, the flaws and some of the other things. There's some really good ideas. I mean, not everyone's out there trying to steal your work, but I don't know. I'm not going to go on.
It's funny. I get what you're saying though. And I mean, when you're talking amongst sellers, it's like, we all know that, you can tend to kind of copy paste other people's stuff. But yeah, I get what you're saying too. It's not just that you maybe have like a good graphic that's selling well, like you're building something beyond that, with your approach. Like you have your niche stores, you got websites attached to it. You got licensing deals, you know what I mean? You got it going on. So
yeah, like people can't take away us going to conventions. People can't take away like our artwork. I mean, there's, they could take the artwork and stuff, but that is your artwork. It's yours authentically, so you can take whatever action you're going to, and you've got more of a foundation behind it if you build like a business entity and stuff.
Yeah, that's been great. Thank you for sharing that perspective, because it is kind of like contrary to what I'm typically talking about. But like I'm just making it work for me, like kind of being a shill, using automation to post a million listings and stuff like that. But it frees up times I can do YouTube and whatnot. So what's working for me is working for me. What's working for you guys is pretty amazing, pretty impressive. Amanda, anything you want to add before we wrap up?
I don't think so. I don't have anything off the top of my head.
Cool. Adam, you good?
I think I've gone on long enough, and for the future, when we have future success stories or something, I'm sure I'll make a bullet list or something so I don't go all over the place. But yeah, I think we're good today.
No, I think it was great, man. I think you guys shared a unique perspective, and like everybody loves hearing a success story, especially one where it wasn't just like, oh yeah, we just casually sold a few $1 million and retired. But it's like, no, hey, we built it from the ground up. You achieved a lot in a little bit over 2 years, and that's gonna resonate with a lot of people. So guys, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us, Ryan.